What's up guys, it's Missy. I am back with another SimCity build a video. Today I am doing a video, well it's going to be kind of brief, but basically this is going to be part 2 of the upgrades video that I did yesterday, which was the CoM part walkthrough 3. Okay, so I decided to group up all of the contest mayors videos into multiple parts and try to explain them all in one set of videos. The last one that I did was about upgrades, when to cancel, when to not cancel, when to, let them sit and all that good stuff. If you've watched that video and you're still having a little bit of confusion, I wanted to go ahead and explain a very common thing that happens, and it happened to one of the people in my group and she made the wrong choice, but I understand why she made that choice, and I wanted to go ahead and clarify why it was the wrong choice. So this is the start of her week. She's in Mega, as you can see. You can see she's level 25. She is in Mega because she has 60 tasks, 4 days, 23 hours remaining. This is what we call setting the scene, so you know what's going on. The contest of mayors has just begun. This would be her first choice. So there's no pattern to follow here. There's no anything like, oh, well, the game's been giving you these kind of tasks, so go with this. You can't predict anything based off of what's been happening because nothing's happened yet, right? So this is where you would begin your task assessment. Now, task assessment, you go through your list and you break your tasks down into what you know about those tasks and if they're main, rotatable, or non-rotatable. Main tasks are tasks that are the obvious choice that you would get completed before you do your rotatable tasks. Usually those tasks are worth 2,000 points or higher, right? Now, being how she's camping, she's not going to be able to complete that 6K upgrade. By it sitting there, it's holding that 3K value. Does that mean that we should cancel it just yet? Well, let's keep looking at her list first, right? Because we need to see if she has any other upgrades in her list before we cancel. If she doesn't have any other upgrades in her list, then we can pretty much conclude that if we cancel it, even though it opens up that 3K placement, it also could kick back a high upgrade in return and then be in the same situation that we were already in, right? Except for now our averages dropped. So she's got a 6K upgrade, which she cannot do, which does need canceled, but we're going to wait and see how the rest of her list looks before we determine if now is the right time to cancel it. She has a 6K Tokyo deliveries, which means 2 out of her 3K placements are taken up. Okay, so if she picks anything besides one of the top 2, she has no possibility of getting a 3K task in return. Now, going lower than that, she has a premium at 3K, which this week is double points week, so that would be a rotatable task, right? Well, actually that's her main task if you go top 3. But going down the list, you've got rotatable repair, rotatable epic, keys, and okay, so keys and repair are technically rotatable, but we're not going to be doing them until all other good opportunities are gone. So they're not really in the no touch category, but they're not really in the rotatable category as of right now. They technically are rotatable, so you would put them as rotatable, okay? They're right around the 1,200 mark on a normal week, so they're going to sit in your list for quite some time. All right, going on with the bottom of her list. She's got the chemicals, which if you cut that in half, that's really low. That's excellent. We're going to leave that sit, and we're not going to touch that for the whole rest of the contest. So that one you can mark as no touch. The monster is at 1,000 on a normal week, so that's a no touch. The rare war attack, this is at 1,000. It's a premium and it has opportunity of a high value kickback. That is absolutely rotatable and should be rotated as soon as all main tasks are taken care of. The donuts are also at 1,000 points. Those need to get started. So if she has anything in her donut shop that is not donuts, she can start by getting those made. So let's say that she prepped 11 bread rolls. She would pick up 1 bread roll and place down 1 donut, and she would do that until she has 5 ready, and then she would leave it sit and wait and see, that way when the opportunity arises, she has them ready you know, once all her main tasks are gone, she can go ahead and rotate in the donuts. Same with the shoes. Okay, so if she prepped, let's say, caps, and she doesn't want to waste a token, she can prep the shoes. Although they are at a really low value, I probably wouldn't prep them right away, given that she has so many other tasks she's going to have to get through before even getting to the shoes. I wouldn't worry about them this early on, especially being level 25 and having access to tokens. If you're below level 24, then you only have access to silver tokens if you're between levels 20 and 23. That is why I tell people, do not compete in Mega unless you're level 24. It just makes everything so much harder. Okay, so going with her task assessment, we have no other upgrades in our list, right? We also don't have a launch VU, if you haven't noticed. So there is that possibility that a launch VU could come in. Same with some nice war points for like war attacks or whatever, upgrade war cards, more airports. So there's a lot of opportunity here for 3K tasks to come in. Now, what is the correct choice? Is the correct choice to cancel the one high upgrade in the list, or to do the 6K delivery and let that 6K upgrade sit? And why? What is the correct choice? Well, she chose to cancel the upgrade. That is the wrong choice. Now, normally that would be the right choice if she had other upgrades in her list, but right now, what are the possibilities? What can we factor in here? We need to look at risk versus reward. By canceling that 6K task, reward is that she opens up a 3K value placement, yes? But the same reward is there for the task below it, so you can cancel them out, right? Opportunity is identical, right? Or reward is identical. So they both have the possibility of opening up a 3K placement. So you wouldn't pick one over the other based on that. So let's go with risk. What risk comes with picking the upgrade? That there's no other upgrade in her list, right? So the risk is that it's going to come back another high upgrade. That's the risk. What is the risk if she chooses the high Tokyo delivery? The risk is that she could get a high upgrade, but she could get a high upgrade with the other one too. And it's more likely she's going to get it when she has no upgrade in her list versus when she has at least one holding that place value. So the risk is worse to let that upgrade, or to do that upgrade, to cancel that upgrade. Because now the game recognizes that she has one less high value task and no upgrades whatsoever. So the game is more likely to spit another upgrade out. And given that she's opened up that 3K value, it's very good possibility that it kicks her a 6K upgrade in return. Okay, so that's what happened. She canceled it and she got a 6K Paris. Now what does she do? Now she's faced with the exact same conclusion or decision that she had before, right? Except for this time, she's one task lower, so she's 4,000 points down on her average because it's double points week, right? So what is the correct choice now? If the correct choice then was to cancel and it didn't work, what is the next choice? The correct choice then and now should have been to do the delivery to Tokyo. Normally you would not let a 3K task sit in your list because it holds that 3K value. But when it's the only one in your list and it's the beginning of the contest, you have nothing else to hold back any upgrades from coming in, then what you want to do to avoid having upgrades come in with a high value is you want to rotate things out when you have a high upgrade holding that value, so that hopefully the game will kick in low upgrades in return. Then you cancel that high upgrade and go from there, right? So in this case, she should do the delivery to Tokyo. That would open up the possibility for 3K tasks to come in. It would clear out her airport task, and it could kick back a low upgrade. It could even kick back a high upgrade, but more likely it's going to kick back something else, right? You're going with odds here. There's no certainty, okay? It's total odds. So she does that task, okay? And she gets a 6K launch VU. There you go. That was the right choice, right? Now, moving forward, does she cancel that upgrade, or does she proceed down the list and continue trying to rotate things in? Well, canceling that upgrade is still, it's the same option that was presented before, right? So we're not going to cancel it yet. So what she does is she goes down the list of premiums. So she's going to go with the highest task in her list that opens up the best opportunity, which would be the plastic for $32.40, right? So she does the plastic, and she got, I can't remember what she got in return. I'd have to open up her messages. But the point is, what did she get? Hang on, let me open up her messages and see. Give me a second here, you guys. Okay, she ended up getting a delivery to Paris for $4,800, and then her next one in was a earn simoleons task for a low value. So the next thing that she would do is she would scoot down the list of rotatables, because this one is now the coins task is not something that you rotate in very often. That's usually something you go to if you have no other options. Right now she does have other options and better ones, so the next one down the list would be the deliveries for the 3,000, and so that's going to be her next plan of attack there. So she also needs to take into consideration that war attack down there at the bottom. However, because she doesn't have any more upgrades rotated in yet, I don't recommend picking that one just yet, because it could result in a high upgrade. I would definitely rotate in the war deliveries. Hopefully that kicks back a low upgrade for her, and then she can proceed down the list of other rotatable options, like the donuts is what I would do, and then wait, see if that kicks back an upgrade. If not, then I would probably proceed on with the war attack and hope that that one at least doesn't kick in a 6K upgrade, because then you're going to have problems. If you end up in a situation where you started your week off with 2 6K upgrades right at the very tippy top, what you would do in that situation is you would use that to your advantage. Okay, you would say these are the highest possibles that I can have, and you would start rotating in your main tasks and hope that they come in worth a lower value. If you don't have upgrades pouring in with those 2 sitting there, then cancel one of them and see if that triggers it to come in. You don't want to leave things sit for an obscene amount of time, because a lot of times what happens is people try to get the low valued upgrades to come in, but they just proceed on for like 10, 15, 20 tasks, and they just hurt their score. You know, if you don't see a difference, or, you know, rotating in the like 5 or 6 tasks, try something else, especially if your average is dropping. If your average isn't dropping, then it's okay. But if your average is dropping, you need to rotate it out. All right, you guys, I'll show you guys kind of what goes on for CoM training, how CoM training works. So usually how it works is the beginning of the week, they send in their screenshots top and bottom. They break down their list from main to rotatables, and then they proceed on with their choices, and they tell me, you know, this is the choice I think it should be, since I'm in if they're in Metro, usually what they do is they say this is what it should be in Mega, but this is what it is in Metro. I usually don't even start training until you're in Mega, because there's really no point. Once you're in Mega, however, then what you'll do is you'll send in your screenshots, okay, top and bottom. You'll do your full task assessment and explain why, like what you know about each task and why you've picked these ones out as your mains, these ones out as your rotatables, and then you'll say this is the correct choice. I'll either give you a thumbs up and say, yep, that's correct, go ahead, or you don't hear from me and then you proceed on and you update me as you go. Okay, my phone is always on silent, so you don't have to worry about waking me up. And then I'll get to you when I have a chance. Now, what happens is I go through your choices and I say, okay, wait, up here you made a mistake, and we go back and we discuss it, and I explain why it was a mistake and try to educate you on, you know, what you should have done and why what you did was wrong, okay? Then you proceed on like you always would, and I try to check back with you guys as much as I can, but if you don't hear from me, you know, in a timely manner, then you just proceed on doing the best that you can. If you're having a really hard time, I'm going to probably send you to the videos and have you watch them, so it's really important that you do not sign up for training unless you have a pretty good understanding as to what is going on. You know, don't sign up for training if you haven't watched a majority of the Contest of Mayors videos. You are going to be expected to move quickly, okay? I don't train slackers. It's a lot of time and energy for me to train people. And when you go through my training course, it's because you really want to win. You know, by the end of the training course, you guys should be able to break down, you should be able to do full task assessments, main versus rotatables. You should be able to you should have a really good understanding of what rotation is, reverse rotation, task loop, all that stuff. You guys should be able to win mega every week, no problem, and do just fine, you know? And so if you are not able to, it's because you're slacking, right? And you have to give me 150%. You can't be like, well, I work these 3 days, so I'll try to jump on for 3 hours at the end of the week and see what I can get done. That just doesn't work. You know, you have to work at a specific pace in order to hit the top of the leaderboard. Same with tickets. I had a guy that would always try to hoard his tickets, and it cost him his win multiple times. So if you play in the training course, it's an all-in deal, okay? If you are in a situation where you can't win because of hackers, then you would opt out and you wouldn't waste any more limited tasks, you wouldn't waste any more cash or anything like that. If you have a legitimate chance to win, you are all in. If you don't follow that philosophy, it will bite you in the ass. Trust me on that, okay? I've had so many people stop midway through the week because they added an obscene amount of points at the beginning of the week. Everybody at the bottom of the leaderboard just kind of hovered there, you know? And they're like, well, I'll just wait for people to catch up and see if they catch up. And then they pick away at their tasks. And they're like, oh, they're starting to catch up to me, and they start adding. That's what you don't want to do, okay? Because then those people that maybe would have never even tried to reach your score, they felt like it was possible, right? So they tried. And now they're like, well, fuck, I'm already all in anyway. I've already wasted this much of my week. I might as well go for it. And you risk having those people try harder. Versus if you would have just done your best 100% and got it all done and you did the best you could, then that's what matters, right? You did the best you could, you got it done as quickly as you could and as efficiently as you could, and at the end of the week you don't have to wonder, should I have waited, should I not have waited, should I have used a ticket, should I not have used a ticket, you know what I mean? You follow that philosophy and you'll be fine. But if you slack and drag your feet and wait for the last day and see what other people are capable, that's just nonsense, okay? That's how you end up losing to stupid things like, oh, I had another 5 tickets, but I didn't pull my head out of my butt until the last hour of the contest, and then it wasn't possible, and then you just wasted your whole week over a couple of freaking tickets, right? So that right there is another thing I do not put up with in training. So that's the deal. If you're in, you're all in, or if you're out, you're all out, right? If you want to train with me, then you got to operate right. You know, I don't train losers. I train winners, damn it. Okay, I want you guys to win. I don't want to waste my whole week watching you guys lose. I mean, what the hell, you know? So if you guys go to our Facebook page, type in SimCity Buildit, MissyAnne this here is our Facebook page. You click join. I'll approve you guys in like that. And this is where I post all of the guides, all of the latest videos that I put up. And this is where you guys can post questions or whatever. Usually on, I think it's the day off from the contest, like everybody posts, you know, if they won or whatever. This here is a progress report of the Missy's Building Guide. She's been playing 2 months. I put this up on our last video. And I'm trying to find, this was from 2 days ago. So she's in my training course. She's won 2 or 3 times in a row now. That might have been her third win. I know she's won at least twice. Rose, she's won a lot. She's been in my group for a while now. She won last week again, and then let's see who else. Lolly, she's also in my group. She won Mega last week. Bree, she's in my group. She won last week. Let's see who else here. He's also in my group. He won last week. She's in my group. She won last week. I mean, you seeing a pattern here? He's in my group. He won last week. That's End. This person just now got to my group. He's only in Neighborhood League, so he's got a little ways to go before he's even in Mega. That's the key that I made. Let's see what else. This is videos. Okay. That's just a post about wanting friends, group post. That might be it for this week. There was another person who's not in my group that won. There's several people that post on here. So if you guys, win each week, go ahead. Like this person, first week in Mega, first win thanks to Missy's training. Oh, that person is in my group. Duh. Okay. That's TK. She won again the previous week. She usually posts weekly. This lady, she's not in my group, but she's been winning, and she's a level 40 player, so that's pretty good. The one thing with her, though, is she needs to remember that she is a high-level player, not a low-level player. So the way that she chooses her tasks is going to be different than the way most of you guys are choosing them if you're of a lower level. This person is not in my group, but they said after a string of 2nd and 5th places in CoM groups where everybody appeared to be following Missy's 2K average guideline, I managed to secure the top spot this week. Thank you for the valuable tips, Missy. It does pay off. Okay, so he won. That's the other thing too, is you guys are probably going to end up in a situation where you're going against some of my trainers. Many of you guys have reached out to them like, hey, you did good last week or whatever. Unfortunately, that is what happens a lot. I've even had people in my group get paired against each other multiple times, and it just it sucks because it's interesting to see them battle for first when they're both in my training course. Okay, so let's see. That's the one thing you should also always do is look at your leaderboard and see who you're going against. If you notice that the person that maybe was hacked last week is again in your leaderboard this week, that's why it's so important that you report cheaters, because it's very possible that you get repaired with those same people. Some things you can do to get away from these people is leveling up, but leveling up is not always a good thing, This is that level 40 player, Mary. She won again. The week before, this was Kat's second win in a row. She did good that week. This person, again, Tanya, she won again. I mean, as you can see, there's a nice pattern here. That's Bree, she won again. I mean, you think it's a coincidence that everybody in Mega in my group's winning? No. That's how you prove it's not based on luck, okay? It's based on choices, and if you make bad choices and you don't prep and you don't do well, then you fail, Now, obviously, if you go against hackers, then you're pretty much doomed anyways, right? So that's why, like I said, it's super important that you guys report hackers as much as you can. But basically, what you need to do is understand how the game spits out the tasks, how to block bad things from coming in, keep good things, and keep good things popping up. Basically, just studying the way that the game operates. If you cancel a task and it results in a certain task, ask yourself, well, why did it give me that task? Why not this other task? And just do the best that you can to analyze as much of the information as you can. If you notice anything new, I try to always keep up on anything new, like with the list. Like there was last year, we used to always have the war booster in your list, almost always, and it was always there with a 1K value. It never kicked anything good back. That has since changed, you know, and now when you get the war booster, it's very rare that you get it, but when you get it, it usually results in a high value task kickback, and that again is something you have to be aware of. If you're rotating in a war booster and you have no upgrades in your list, the possibility of it kicking a high upgrade is very high, you know. So you just gotta, basically, if you're below level 29 and you're camping and you do not have regionals unlocked, your main thing is going to be dealing with around those upgrades. That's going to be the hardest part of the contest, because doing mains and rotatables, that's the easy part, but getting those to come in around upgrades and not have to over cancel or have certain things sit, that's going to be the hardest part. Okay, so try as hard as you can to understand how these upgrades work, when to cancel, when to let them sit. Like I said, I do have that video that I put up yesterday. It has a lot of really valuable information in it, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already, and do the best that you can to understand it. If you need to take notes, okay? For those of you who haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. We hit like 1,300 subs last week. We've went up about 20 the last couple of days, so that's good. Anybody here who hasn't subscribed, like I said, click the subscribe button, click that like button. It bumps the videos up to get seen more and reach out to more people. All right, you guys, good luck.